Welcome to AI Briefing. The content of the briefing includes judges given green light to use ChatGPT in legal rulings, Superintelligent AI, conscious machines, China chipmaker seeks funds at $19.5 billion value as IPOs cool, how to China-proof the global economy, the coming wave, technology, power, and the 21st century's greatest dilemma, judges given green light to use ChatGPT in legal rulings, Telegraph. The Judicial Office in the UK has issued official guidance to judges in England and Wales regarding the use of artificial intelligence, AI, in legal rulings. The guidance acknowledges the potential benefits of AI, such as summarizing large amounts of text or assisting with administrative tasks. However, it also warns that chatbots, such as OpenAI's ChatGPT, are not a reliable method of conducting research, as they can generate fictitious cases or legal texts. The guidance cautions against the use of AI by members of the public in legal cases, as well as the possibility of deepfake technology being used to produce fake evidence. While AI offers opportunities for a more efficient justice system, judges must be aware of the limitations and potential inaccuracies of AI-generated responses, according to Sir Geoffrey Voss, the master of the rolls. Earlier this year, a senior judge in the UK described ChatGPT as jolly useful and used it to summarize an area of law in a court ruling. However, the guidance emphasizes that judges are personally responsible for the material produced in their name and warns against the inclusion of private information in chatbots that could be made public. Superintelligent AI, conscious machines. Financial Times. The final episode of the Financial Times series on artificial general intelligence explores the question of conscious AI. The episode features interviews with Eugenia Kaida, founder and CEO of Replica, Anil Seth, Professor of Cognitive and Computational Neuroscience at the University of Sussex, and Henry Shevlin, Director of the Leverhulme Centre for the Future of Intelligence at the University of Cambridge. The discussion centers around whether consciousness can emerge naturally in powerful AI systems and the moral implications of developing conscious AI. The episode also touches on the growing attachment some users have to romantic chatbots. China chipmaker seeks funds at $19.5 billion value as IPOs cool. Bloomberg. Chinese chipmaker Chongqing Memory Technologies has delayed its initial public offering, IPO, and is considering raising funds at a valuation of around 140 billion Chinese yuan, $19.5 billion, after discussions with regulators and prospective investors. The company, which makes memory chips, aims to expand capacity in anticipation of an increase in global tech demand next year. Chongqing had planned to file for an IPO on Shanghai's Nasdaq-style Star Board. How to China-proof the global economy. Foreign Affairs. The United States needs to adopt a new approach to its economic strategy towards China, according to a new report by Kurt M. Campbell and Rush Doshi in Foreign Affairs. The report argues that Washington should accept that the Xi regime will not change and instead actively manage the economic relationship with China to advance specific U.S. interests and respond to evolving geopolitical demands. The authors propose a more targeted and sophisticated economic model that tailors policies to achievable goals and uses a variety of creative tools. This includes reducing U.S. reliance on China in major supply chains, ensuring the West maintains an edge in sensitive technologies, and establishing new trading relationships with like-minded partners. The report also highlights the need for the United States to develop a sectoral trade strategy, focusing on specific sectors where interests converge, and to address the digital economy and emerging technologies. Additionally, the report emphasizes the importance of providing economic and infrastructure support to U.S. partners and allies as a way to compete with China's Belt and Road Initiative. Finally, the report urges the United States to reinforce the dominance of the dollar in global trade and finance to slow the rise of alternative reserve currencies. The coming wave, technology, power, and the 21st century's greatest dilemma. Foreign Affairs. The co-founder of DeepMind, Mustafa Suleyman, has warned that artificial intelligence, AI, and synthetic biology pose a serious threat to society if left unregulated. Suleyman argues that while these technologies offer great benefits, such as eliminating mundane labor and eradicating diseases, they also have the potential to be used for cyber attacks, engineered pandemics, and misinformation campaigns. Suleyman suggests that developers need to build appropriate controls into their technologies, and recommends regular audits, international cooperation, and measures to slow the pace of technological change in order to give regulators time to catch up. There's a secret WhatsApp group chat with more than 100 Silicon Valley CEOs in it, and even they didn't know what Sam Altman did to get fired. Yahoo! Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, was fired in November 2021, resulting in a flurry of speculation among a group of over 100 Silicon Valley CEOs on WhatsApp. The group includes Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Meta, and Drew Houston, CEO of Dropbox. Altman was reinstated just days later, and the reason for his removal remains unclear. The company has hired lawyers to review the events leading up to his firing. Tencent game threat seen overdone in NetEase's $8 billion sell-off. Bloomberg. Shares of Chinese gaming company NetEase have fallen by $8 billion in the past 3 weeks due to concerns over competition from Tencent's newly released game Dream Star. However, analysts believe NetEase will rebound thanks to the popularity of its game Eggy Party and a strong pipeline of new titles. NetEase has a solid market position in China and is a pure play in games, which are considered more recession-proof than other consumer sectors. NetEase's shares are down 10% from a November high but are still up 43% this year. Taiwanese tech startups pile into ASEAN amid risks in China. Nikkei Asia. Taiwanese tech startups are increasingly looking to ASEAN for growth opportunities, as tensions with China make doing business there more uncertain. Startups including Tron Future and Gogalook are actively seeking deals in the region, where there is demand for their products. Taiwanese businesses invested more in Southeast and South Asia than in China for the first time in 2022, with investments in the former regions totaling $5.2 billion, compared to $5 billion in China. Controlling the arms race, Europe sets global benchmark for AI regulation. The Sydney Morning Herald. The European Union's new rules on artificial intelligence, AI, have been met with opposition from French President Emmanuel Macron, who argued that they would hinder European technology firms compared with rivals in the US, UK and China. The new legislation requires companies to conduct risk assessments and disclose data used to train large language models, and bans the use of AI in social scoring or to produce fake images, among other measures. It is also backed by penalties of up to €35 million, $42 million, or 7% of a sector's global turnover for breaches. The move by the EU to regulate AI is aimed at protecting consumers while fostering innovation, but critics argue that it will harm the bloc's AI ambitions. The rules are the world's most restrictive regime for AI outside China and India. Federal jury says Google's App Store violated antitrust law. CNN. Google's Android App Store has been declared an illegal monopoly by a federal jury in the US. The decision resulted from a long-running case brought by Epic Games, the maker of Fortnite, and is seen as a significant breakthrough for critics of Google's App Store practices. The jury ruled that Google's practices violated US antitrust laws and that the company had operated an illegal monopoly in the way it distributed and charged for Android apps. The outcome could lead to changes in Google's App Store or to make it easier for Android devices to host third-party app stores. 1 in 5 Women's World Cup players targeted by online abuse during tournament, report finds. ABC. 1 in 5 players were targeted by online harassment during the 2023 Women's World Cup, according to a report by FIFA and Global Players Union FIFPro. The report found that more than 150 players were targeted with abusive, discriminatory, or threatening content, with homophobic abuse being twice as prevalent in the women's tournament compared to the men's. The report called on social media platforms to strengthen their filters and moderation tools to tackle online abuse. It also recommended that member associations provide proactive moderation support to players and teams before tournaments start. US is looking into NVIDIA's AI chips for China, Raimondo says. Bloomberg. The US Department of Commerce is reviewing the specifics of 3 new artificial intelligence accelerators being developed by NVIDIA for China, according to Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo. The US is seeking to restrict the export of chips that would give China AI capabilities. NVIDIA, based in California, is creating chips that comply with China's stricter export guidelines. The Commerce Department has not confirmed whether it plans to restrict the export of NVIDIA's chips. OpenAI's investors don't own it. Bloomberg. Companies are finding alternative ways to offer investors a share of their profits without selling traditional stocks. For example, OpenAI, a nonprofit organization, has used a capped profit interest structure to raise funds from investors, including Microsoft, in exchange for participation in future profits. This structure allows OpenAI to pursue its unique goals and offer investors a unique profit-sharing mechanism. Additionally, some companies are issuing crypto tokens that represent profit interests in a specific project, while others are even directly selling a portion of their profits to investors through contractual agreements. These alternative structures offer investors exposure to a company's profits without the ownership rights associated with traditional stocks. One reason companies may choose these alternative structures is for regulatory arbitrage. By structuring profit-sharing agreements instead of selling traditional stocks, companies can potentially avoid certain regulations and oversight. However, it is not clear if regulators see a distinction between these alternative structures and traditional stock ownership. Another reason companies may choose alternative structures is to align their profit-sharing mechanisms with their unique goals and values. For example, OpenAI uses its profit-sharing structure to fund the development of artificial general intelligence for the benefit of humanity. These alternative profit-sharing structures provide companies with flexibility and control over their operations and financial arrangements. Sports Illustrated publisher fires CEO after AI debacle. CNN. Digital publisher The Arena Group has fired its CEO, Ross Levinson, amid a larger shakeup of its C-suite. The company, which owns brands including Sports Illustrated, replaced Levinson with interim CEO Manoj Bhargava, founder of 5 Hour Energy. Last week, the Arena Group fired 3 major executives, including Operations President and COO Andrew Kraft and Media President Rob Barrett, amid reports that Sports Illustrated had published articles using AI-generated author names and profile photos. Lucid CFO steps down in latest blow to beleaguered EV maker. Bloomberg. Lucid Group's CFO, Sherry House, has resigned from her position effective immediately. The luxury electric vehicle maker will be searching for a permanent replacement while Gagan Dhingra, the current vice president of accounting and principal accounting officer, serves as interim CFO. Lucid has struggled to increase production and has faced a volatile year, resulting in a significant decline in its stock price. The company has cut production expectations and reduced headcount in an effort to compete with Tesla Incorporated. Lucid hired House from Waymo in May 2021 and went public in July of that year through a reverse merger. And that's all the news for today, folks. We covered a range of topics, from the use of AI in legal rulings to the regulation of AI and the challenges it poses. We also discussed the firing of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman and the impact of AI-generated content in the publishing industry. Plus, we talked about the future of the global economy, the gaming industry, and the growing presence of Taiwanese tech startups in ASEAN. Now, let's dive a little deeper into some of these stories. The use of AI in legal rulings is an interesting development. While AI can be useful in summarizing large amounts of text or assisting with administrative tasks, it is not foolproof. The guidance issued to judges in the UK emphasizes the limitations and potential inaccuracies of AI-generated responses. It's important for judges to be aware of these limitations and exercise caution when relying on AI in legal cases. Moving on to the regulation of AI, the European Union has introduced new rules that aim to protect consumers while fostering innovation. However, there is opposition to these rules, with critics arguing that they will hinder European technology firms compared to their counterparts in the US, UK, and China. Striking the right balance between regulation and innovation is a challenge that many countries and regions are grappling with. In the world of gaming, Chinese company NetEase has faced a significant drop in its stock price due to concerns over competition from Tencent. However, analysts believe that NetEase will rebound thanks to the popularity of its games and its strong pipeline of new titles. The gaming industry is highly competitive, and companies must constantly innovate and adapt to stay ahead. Lastly, we discussed the growing presence of Taiwanese tech startups in ASEAN. Tensions with China have made doing business there more uncertain, leading Taiwanese startups to look for growth opportunities in other regions. This shift in investment patterns highlights the importance of diversification and the need for businesses to adapt to changing geopolitical dynamics. So, there you have it, a roundup of some of the latest news in the world of technology and beyond. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on these topics. What do you think about the use of AI in legal rulings? How should AI be regulated? And what are your predictions for the future of the global economy? Share your ideas in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6 do brief via email.